Do you think customer service is important for your hospitality property? In the future, guests will expect more than just a stay, but an experience. So customer service will be essential. Let me tell you more. Welcome to another edition of Hospitality Property School. I'm your instructor, Jerry McPherson. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. And make sure to hit the little bell so you'll be informed when I upload a new video. You won't want to miss anything I designed especially for you. If you have been an owner or an operator of a hospitality property for a while, you might have seen the average hotel occupancy rate fluctuate dramatically over the past couple of years. There has been no guarantee of consistent repeat business. You may have welcomed new guests, hoped they enjoyed their stay, and maybe someday would return, but have you been asking yourself these questions? How do I get them to return? And if they don't return, why? You want to ensure that your customers have a wonderful experience at your property and avoid disappointing them by only fulfilling the basics. Here are some reasons guests might not return, according to a study conducted by the Research Institute for Leisure and Tourism. 1%, because of death. 3%, because they moved. 5%, because of a change in habits. 9%, because of a wrong price policy. 14%, because of a lack in product quality. And 68%, because of a lack in service quality. Well, if you can say, we only offer quality service, none of these other factors apply, and our occupancy rate is always 90% or better, then your business is in great shape and you need not listen any further. If this is not the case, then you might be interested in how both unhappy and happy customers might describe their experience at your property. One unsatisfied guest will tell 10 other persons about it. One satisfied guest will bring 3 new guests. And a delighted guest will spend 5 times more money. I've heard some owners say, I know my guests, and if they are unsatisfied with their experience, they would complain. Wrong. Statistically, 4 out of every 100 guests complain, and up to 75% will choose your competition on their next stay. Only 8 to 20% stay loyal despite their dissatisfaction. So what does this all mean? Unsatisfied guests do not complain. They just do not come again. How can you ensure your guests will return? I'll tell you. About 85% of unsatisfied guests whose complaints were handled appropriately will remain as loyal guests. There are many factors you can control by ensuring you are consistent with your chain of service. What does chain of service mean? You are totally focused on the care of your customer from the first contact until they arrive back to their home. You need to have step-by-step guidelines and scripts for each aspect of your guest interaction and ensure your employees know them. For example, taking reservations. These are guidelines for your reservation staff. Have a standardized script for all phone reservations and follow the same procedure every call. Have a list of the required information you need as well as a section for special requests. Eliminate any distractions or disturbing noises at the reservation desks, for example, radio or a TV. Answer the phone no later than on the 4th ring. Avoid long waiting. Do not keep a client on hold longer than 1 minute. Otherwise, get a number and promise to call them back. Greet each guest with the hotel's name, your name, and a salutation like, "How can I help you?" or a typical regional greeting. Have a pad of paper and a pen to write down the guest's name and use it as often as possible. This creates a personal atmosphere and the guests a feeling of being paid attention to. Be clear and enunciate. Your employees should convey friendliness and reliability while on the phone. Smile because the guest can hear you smiling. It's okay to have a stimulus such as a happy face or a humorous picture hanging by the phone. It may sound a little corny, but it works. To avoid mistakes, ask for the spelling of important facts, for example, names, reservation data, or account details, and then repeat them to confirm. Offer extras when applicable, such as restaurant reservations or shuttle service. Please, thank you, and with pleasure are phrases which can never be used too often. Clearly verbalize the payment practices. Things you can do after the call. If necessary, complete your notes immediately while the conversation is still fresh. Send booking confirmation, brochures, etc. within 24 hours. Prepare to realize your guests' wishes. Begin a file on each guest. Have your registration employees sign the checklist once it is completed. This is for both the guest's benefit and for the success of your company. If a reservation is taken online, ensure all the instructions are easy to find, and this means clear and easy enough for a young child to understand, and I'm serious about this. Make sure your website is easy to navigate, and have a FAQ page or a frequently asked questions page or a reliable contact resource. When you receive reservations by mail, answer all the questions as well as the most commonly asked questions by other guests. Respond quickly. And be proactive and include significant, relative, and appealing material with every return post. To find out more about customer service training, check out our training tutorials. Visit KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com and click Tutorials in the menu bar. Now I would like to go into a little more detail about customer service for when your guests arrive, during their stay, and when they depart. First impressions are crucial. So when your guests arrive for check-in, the parking area and entrance are well lit. Have special services for arrival during bad weather, such as umbrellas. When greeting, use the guest's name. Offer an uncomplicated, fast check-in. A short info briefing, and that's the where, when, and whats of your property. Luggage service, if applicable. Have a cleaning cloth for glasses or tissues at the reception counter. Offer a complimentary drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Have a corner with information about the region, small snacks, local favorites if possible, such as seasonal fruit. And wish them a nice stay. Your lobby should be warm, with a comfortable ambiance, with a light, pleasant fragrance. Smell is an incredible memory trigger. Make sure your reception area is tidy and your property has helpful signage. The room. Make sure it's tidy and sanitized. A reasonable room temperature, comfortable mattress, hot water, calm, no disturbing noises, fresh air, and a briefing packet for guests. During the guest stay, there are extras you could consider. A personal wake-up service with up-to-date newsletter or information about the weather. A pillow bar with a choice or a variety of pillows. A reading corner, a choice of different books with comfortable seating, and a tea corner. Free internet or Wi-Fi service. I can't stress enough how important this is in this day and age. A lending service, and these could be things like hiking maps, umbrellas, reading glasses, power plugs, etc. Your employee participation. You want to hire employees that can show real, authentic kindness. They need to be competent and qualified for their position, trustworthy and can keep promises, empathetic and have the ability to listen, can manage complaints and focus on the guest, and are able to remember the customer might not always be right, but you have to try to make them feel as if they are. During the guest departure, a friendly fast checkout is important. Never let your guest leave empty-handed. a thank you and goodbye, and wish them a nice homeward journey, and tell them you look forward to seeing them when they return. After their departure, follow up with any problems or issues the guest might have had. To recognize problems is the right step to find solutions, and send them information about new offers by email or post. How do you know if your customer service is working? Ask. You need to get honest feedback from guests, and you can do this by being available to talk with your guests, using guest surveys or questionnaires, online reviews, and feedback from your employees, just to name a few. When looking at reviews, surveys, and feedback from your guests and employees, look at the complaint or criticism as a chance to improve. Now let's look at this a little closer. Take every opportunity you can to ask questions. During breakfast or at dinner, walk over and say, "I hope everything is to your satisfaction," and then wait for a response. During the checkout, ask, "Did you enjoy your stay?" When using questionnaires or surveys, offer a small reward for its completion, something like a small upsell for the next day, or possibly something unique like a rubber ducky with your property's name on it. I saw that used at a property once, and they went over like gangbusters. Everybody wanted one. Basic questionnaire guidelines that you should follow include: it should only take a couple of minutes to fill out the form, maybe with check marks. Make sure your guest knows that their opinion is important. You could say, "Please help us to make your break as relaxing and enjoyable as possible." Anonymous questionnaires are more honest, but if an address is given, you have an opportunity for further inquiries. Increase the rate of questionnaires returned by asking early in your guest stay for them to fill them out. If you ask after they check out, it's too late. As I mentioned before, offering a small reward and making the handover easy. Allow space on the questionnaire for your guest to add more information. Ask for the date and duration of their stay. This could be important. It could influence any source of irritation, for example, if you had construction going on, or for some reason the variety of meals was not that great. With return guests, you can have a more detailed questionnaire. Now, this is an example of the type of questionnaire I would give a guest. Dear valued guest, we are delighted you chose our property, and that use the property's name, for your stay, and trust you enjoyed your time with us. We are always looking for ways to improve our service quality, so in order to maintain the highest possible standards, we would be grateful if you could fill in the questionnaire below and return it to us. Thank you very much, and then put your hotel manager's name and signature. Now, the questions I would ask would be, how would you rate your overall stay experience? 1 or 2 words. Did you feel comfortable? Are you likely to visit us again? Yes or no? And if no, is there a reason? Would you recommend our property to others? Yes or no? And if it's no, is there a reason? Leave a section for any suggestions and or wishes, and then an optional section for the name, address, phone number, and email. I add an asterisk below. Leave your email address and you'll be the first to receive our great offers and specials. And then below that, I add, P.S. Please drop the questionnaire at reception for your free gift, or just hand it over to one of our employees. You can also leave it on the desk in your room. Is this making sense? Let me know in the comments. When reviewing evaluations or surveys or questionnaires, remember, a good questionnaire can be a very authentic and realistic picture of the strengths and shortcomings in service quality. Don't be afraid of honest, critical self-assessment. Accept a complaint in a positive, professional way. Handle complaints fast. Be uncomplicated and obliging. And provide employees with extensive efficiency in providing solutions. Again, look at any complaint as a chance to improve, and if your guest sees you're taking them seriously, their contentment rises, the customer loyalty is advanced, customers who complain will still want to stay at your property, and impressive complaint management is often the topic of conversation between customers. That means promotion. Customer loyalty is always cheaper than trying to find new customers. After a quick break from our sponsor, I'm going to share another option to consider. Do you have an independent hospitality property, a hotel, resort, inn, or bed and breakfast, and at times feel overwhelmed with all you have to do? Do you find yourself doing everything from checking guests in, to marketing, to looking for the right people to work for you, to cleaning toilets and everything in between? What happens when things become hectic? Do you feel stressed? Do you find it difficult to plan for the future when your only concern is how to get the rooms ready for the new arrivals? So what can you do? You have to get organized. You have to learn the strategies that'll make you more effective. Wouldn't it be great to learn the techniques the big brand hospitality properties use and to work like you have a full organizational structure supporting you? If the answer is yes, your next question might be, how do I do this? Well, if you can make the time and have the extra funds, many universities and colleges offer hospitality training programs. Or you can learn from those who've gone through all your problems and see how they have streamlined their business. You can do this by becoming a member of the Hospitality Property School Group. The benefits of this group include helping your hospitality property to gain a clear vision, help set up your organizational structure, help set up your brand, help your social media strategy, help create an atmosphere to hire the right employees, help grow your business. The Hospitality Property School Group is designed to share knowledge, tips, and techniques to like-minded hospitality property owners and managers who might not have the benefit of having an entire organization to support them. If you are looking for ways to streamline your business, learn how to set up an organizational strategy, to hire and keep the right employees, and to increase your bookings and profit, then visit KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com/membership-site and explore the Hospitality Property Group for an entire week for only $1. We guarantee you'll find tips and techniques that you can begin using right away to help start improving your bookings and profit. But don't just take my word for it. Explore yourself for an entire week for only $1. That's KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com/membership-site. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Before the break, I told you I would share another option to consider. Set up the occasional mystery check. This is similar to mystery shoppers. This is when you have guests check in and assess every aspect of your services. This hidden test can help you find out your property's service qualities. Remember, a minimized error rate in service quality is unavoidable. Dissatisfied guests? Not. Creativity and motivation produce not only satisfied, but also an enthusiastic and loyal guest willing to recommend you. Other tips that can improve a guest experience: provide music with announcements and offers when guests are on hold. Include an automated email response, such as, "Thank you for your message. You will receive a response within," and then how much time. A small gift as a thank you for trust in a debit or a fast bank transfer. Afterwards, you could try one of these ideas. And this is where building an email and an address list is very important. Don't let your guests leave empty-handed. A small souvenir, favorite recipe, typical regional products, or pictures of the stay or a regional landscape during different seasons. A day or two before the guest checks out, send a postcard to their home welcoming them back. You could call a guest to inquire if they arrived safely, and if you do have them on a mailing list, send them a season's greetings. Your customer's return visit. Have a file for each guest with their likes and wishes. With the proper checks and balances in place, this information can be gathered by the employees with questions without the guests realizing it. And then on their return visit, you can provide them with their favorite coffee, drink, newspaper, whatever. To find out more about customer service training, check out our training tutorials. Visit KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com and click Tutorials in the menu bar. Is this making sense so far? Let me know with a yes or a no in the comments below. If you operate any type of hospitality property, Your number one priority for success is great customer service. Great customer service is an essential aspect of the hospitality industry. The level of service you offer can make or break your hotel, resort, inn, or bed and breakfasts. So it is imperative that you fine-tune your policies until you hit near perfection. If you don't, you will lose potential and repeat guests. Social media raises the stakes for customer service. In the old days, if a guest or a customer was happy with your service, they would tell 3 people. If not, they would tell 11 people. Today, with the advent of social media, if someone is not happy with any aspect of your service, within days, tens or even hundreds of thousands could see it on their timeline. Hospitality property owners and managers need to instill best practices for their employees to follow. By understanding the following best practices, you and your employees will ensure your customer service reaches a standard that is not only acceptable to the general public, but will also confirm your status as a quality establishment. Begin with a warm welcome. First impressions are everything. The first step you need to master and to teach your employees is the appropriate customer greeting. This will be your guests' first face-to-face contact and could set the tone for their overall experience. A good welcome needs to be warm, polite, and informed, but not fake. If the greeting is overbearing or suffocating, it could make your guests feel uncomfortable. It is really important to find a healthy balance so your guests walk away from the check-in more content and happier than when they arrived. In a past episode, I talked about the importance of finding and hiring the right staff. If you'd like to refresh your memory, then visit Great Employees, How to Find and Keep Them. You can find that at keystonehospitalitydevelopment.com/KHDC114. Keep your employees happy. I have seen way too often hospitality property owners and managers focus on the little things and disregard their staff. A guest can determine if your staff are not happy, and this will often reflect on their desire to return. By keeping your staff happy, it will help generate a better atmosphere, make them feel more at ease and at home, thereby giving them a better experience. Ways this can be accomplished is by ongoing training, rewarding great work, and empowering your staff to make frontline decisions. Surpass your guests' wants and expectations. We all know that the hospitality industry can be very competitive, and by meeting your guests' needs is not always enough. In order to stay ahead of your competition, you must strive to give your guests the wow factor. You must exceed their expectations with the little touches that will elevate you to a higher level of customer service. Constantly take feedback. A hospitality property that is willing to accept feedback and criticism and then use these remarks to improve is definitely serious about maintaining great customer service satisfaction. For this to work, you have to make available ways for your guests to speak to you either through online reviews, surveys, or questionnaires. You need to be able to look at any criticism objectively and willing to implement changes as necessary. Conclude your guest stay with a warm send-off. All good things must come to an end. That is the way your guests should be thinking when it comes to leaving. And what better way to say goodbye than with a fond farewell? A sincere goodbye will last in the minds of your departing guests, and if it's done right, will only leave a positive impression of your property. Use your guest's name, offer your hand, and treat them as you would family if they were leaving. Undoubtedly, customer service is of fundamental importance to the hospitality industry and should be specifically to your hospitality property. The level of service your guests receive could make or break your business and cannot be ignored. In conclusion, I have shared with you a framework of ways that other properties have developed their customer service. Take these ideas and mold them into strategies that will not only benefit your guests, but will have them expound about their time with you. It's up to you. I would like to hear about your customer service. Let me know in the comments. If you'd like to find out more about developing great customer service, check out our training tutorials. Visit KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com and click Tutorials on the menu bar. You'll have access to this post for 6 weeks before it gets locked into the vault for Hospitality Property School Group members only. When you see that we have something new, don't mark it as unread or file it away, because you might miss your chance. To see all the other valuable material you would have access to as a member of the Hospitality Property School Group, check out the short video in the episode post show notes. In the next episode, I will be talking about handling customer complaints. That's it for today's episode. Until next time, have a fun day. Oh, P.S. Did you see the last edition of Insider Tips? If not, make sure you sign up so they are delivered directly to your inbox. You can find the link in the show notes.